What is up, guys? It's Nikola Petkovic, your real estate agent of choice. So every time I do a listing presentation, basically I get asked two same questions. How are you going to sell my property in the shortest period of time? And how are you going to sell my property for the top dollar? Stay tuned and watch this video because this is not going to be a listing presentation. I will present to you a case study on how I outperformed every single agent in that year and how I managed to sell my client's property for the top dollar and in the shortest period of time. Cheers and enjoy this video. Hello again, everyone. So the two questions that I do get asked most frequently on every single listing presentation that I do are how are you going to sell my property for the top dollar and how you're going to sell my property in the shortest period of time. As I mentioned in the intro of this video, I'm not going to do my listing presentation right now and my unique value proposition on how I sell homes fast, easy, and elegant. This is going to be a case study from 2020 when the market was flooded with listings and when it was almost impossible to sell anything, not to mention to execute the number one sale in the complex for that year and the number one sale from the perspective of dollar value and time. So before we jump into numbers, I want to show you what was my message to every single person that was in the market at that time. So as you can see, I was brutally honest to every single seller at that time. If you don't have to sell, wait, the better times are coming. This is not the best time to sell. We were literally flooded with listings, and the only persons that were around browsing for properties were some investor predators that were calling people, trying to negotiate the price without even seeing the property. And I would have to say that some horrible transactions happened from the seller's perspective. I did see that a lot of properties were sold significantly undervalued. So this is the building that I'm talking about, 90 Absolute. I got a call from my clients. They were looking to sell, even though I told them that it's going to be really tough to sell a property and that they should wait. It was a very unique situation because they already purchased a pre-construction and they had to close. So not only did they had to sell at that time, they also had to sell it for a certain dollar value. And I have to say, at that moment, there was approximately $25,000 difference between the last comparable sale in the complex and for how much they had to sell in order for numbers to make sense for them and in order to be able to close on their pre-construction. So as I said, it is very easy to work in a hot seller's market when everything is selling. We as an agents proved to our client base in these markets in 2020 when it was almost impossible to sell, and that is the moment where all our value and all of our strengths are kicking in, and that's when we show actually who we are and why we are better than others. So in tough times, I would have to say that is the moment when you can see a clear difference between the top performing agent who is a neighborhood specialist, who is passionate about the area, and everyone else out there. So I'm going to be super quick. Let's dive into numbers and let's see for how much I have outperformed every other agent that sold a property in that year. So these are the numbers and these are the transactions. As you can see, there were 30 condos that got sold in 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90 Absolute. And this is the data from April 1st, 2020 until the end of that year. So as you can see, 30 transactions total. I was focusing only clearly on the comparable units, which are one bedroom and one bedroom plus den. And for the purpose of the video and for the purpose of numbers, I only compared myself to one bedroom plus then units, and I'm going to dive into those numbers in a second. As you can see here, the place spot number one, 90 Absolute 2008. This is the unit that I sold, and it got sold for $504,000. The spot number two that year got sold for 490. So between number one and number two, there is a $14,000 difference. Okay. So let's see on average for how much I have outperformed everyone else that year. As I mentioned, we're focusing on 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90 absolute, one bedroom plus then units. And as you can see here, I sold my unit for $504,000, and other agents sold at the average $469,000. And this is total difference of $34,634. So I have outperformed every other agent on average at $34,634, which is huge. This is so big price difference, especially because the value of the property was at the $500,000. So we're not talking about $2 or $3 million dollars properties and having got that $34,000 difference. No, this is a property that is valued, that got sold at 504, and the price difference on average was 34,634. From the commission perspective, you are probably aware that the industry standard is 5% commission. So 2.5% commission is for the listing brokerage, 2.5% commission is for the brokerage that brings the buyer. And as you can see here, for that $504,000 sale, the total commission for both agents is $25,200. And based on these numbers for how much I outperformed every other agent, not only that I earned commission for myself and for the agent that brought the buyer, but there was almost $10,000 left in my seller client's pocket based on average sale price. So you definitively now understand, and every reasonable human being understands, how important it is to have a local professional real estate agent, and how potentially you can lose tens of thousands of dollars if you just go with anyone else. In terms of timing, I managed to sell this condo for 16 days, and other agents, on average, it took them 27 days. So that was also 40% less time, approximately 40% less time it took me to sell the unit that I mentioned. So guys, numbers speak for themselves. If you want to list your property for sale, my best advice is to hire local professional real estate agent who is passionate about the area, who is passionate about what he's doing, and who will get you the top dollar for your property and who will sell in the shortest period of time. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about my unique value proposition on how to sell your home easy, fast, and elegant, feel free to reach out, and it will be my pleasure to present you my listing presentation. Cheers. See you soon.